it's been so long.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while. It's been a minute. I said to Mom as we were setting up.
I'm Sue.
I'm Michael, and we are a close-knit family. It is Monday, December 9th, 2019. This is Season 2, Episode 24.
That's Jude.
That's Jude. Special guest star almost every episode on the show. We are a knitcast, coming to you from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada, following my adventures as a newer knitter and our ongoing yarn and knitting addictions.
Yeah.
Skies above Armstrong. Today's a cloudy day.
Yeah.
Last time I said, the snow was going to stick, and that's kind of not been the case.
No, but we did. I mean, yeah, we had some snowfall.
We've had some
sprinkles. Not a lot.
We've had some sprinkles.
It was enough to get the snowblower out. So I was right when I said last time, Dad's oiling the snowblower. Well, I said Dad's oiling the snowblower so we'd be safe.
Yeah. Then we got one snowfall, one good dump.
Then we had a snowfall, and now it's all gone.
Now it's all gone, basically.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good dump too.
We get the winter grays.
Yeah,
they call it valley cloud, and it just. But if you go up to the higher mountains, the ski hills and stuff, it's usually pretty sunny.
Beautiful.
But yesterday it was sunny. It was nice to get a little bit of clear, actual sunshine.
Look, sun's out.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! So just a quick update. So I'm healthy.
Yay! You may remember last episode weren't doing so good.
Last episode had a little trip to the hospital.
To the ER.
Got stopped and restarted.
Yep.
But I'm healthy. Most things look really good.
Mm-hmm.
So. They're still doing some more tests and stuff because they still want to figure out what the heck happened.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm basically healthy, so that's
Yay!
good.
We're happy about that.
This thing is still somewhat problematic.
Yeah.
Not somewhat. It is still problematic. So this week I'm getting an injection which is supposed to deal with the pain. I'm not sure if that's a good thing because if there's an injury and you take the pain away,
then
if I keep using it, am I not?
Yeah, it's
aggravating the injury.
Dealing with the symptom, not the cause.
Yeah, but at this point, right, I need to be able to work and.
Yeah.
But it's funny because my friend at work, Anna. She's like, oh, you have two appointments scheduled this day? That's it. You can't take any more appointments.
Yeah.
Or she's like, oh, you have one appointment every day this week?
Yeah.
Scheduled? And then she's like, so you can't have any more. You can't put any more appointments in.
Anna's helping you.
Well, no, but she's like, I need to make sure you can still do my nails.
So it's purely selfish that she's doing this for you.
So I tell my various clients this, right? And that, that Anna's keeping me going this way. And they're like, well, thank God, because you need to be able to do mine too. What would we do without you? Where would we go?
Yeah,
anyway.
I keep thinking maybe I'll get some Christmas nails on. But...
Ooh. We'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
So what'd you find out about that?
So, the other week I mentioned that Robin and I went to go see the Mr. Rogers movie, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and not long after we actually shot that episode where we talked about it, you found an article about the sweaters that were worn by Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers in the movie, and I had some trouble finding that article again, but I think I found it. And yeah, it turns out there's some really, thank you, Jude, interesting stuff about the sweaters in there. So the one thing I was surprised about, the sweaters that were used in the filming, or the cardigans of Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, they were hand knit.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them, as we will find out, by Yasmin Esmick. I'm getting that so wrong.
Where is it?
Yasmin Esmek,
Okay.
who is from lady from Germany.
Cool.
And she was hired by costume designer Arjun Basin. Before this, she was working up and down Broadway as a seamstress, it looked like.
Right.
Before she was given this job. Yeah, Arjun just really wanted these sweaters to be hand knit because Mr. Rogers' cardigans were all also hand knit
Of course they were.
by his mother.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Who was apparently a sweater a month kind of knitter.
Yeah.
And she would always get him a sweater for Christmas.
Nice.
Interestingly, though, after Mr. And Fred was known to wear those sweaters until they were absolutely threadbare.
Oh, well, yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yep. Which became a problem after his mother passed away.
Oh no.
And he was still doing the show, and he needed cardigans to wear for the show because it had become such an association with Mr. Rogers. So his crew found the best recreation, I suppose, substitute for these sweaters from the same company, and I'm guessing by this connection the same style, that provides for the U.S. Postal Service.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they've got commercially knit sweaters.
Commercially knit sweaters.
I'm surprised they just didn't reach out to someone and say, "Hey."
It was, I don't know. It was
anyway.
It was
Yeah.
Public station. Anyway. Yeah. So our Arjun, the costume designer for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, insisted that the cardigans and sweaters be hand knit. To be slightly uneven, and Jude, you're right on top of my notes.
She's helping.
Okay, thank you, Jude. Hand knit to be slightly uneven and slightly imperfect. And because the cardigans had become associated with Mr. Rogers as a symbol of his humility and down-to-earth sensibility.
Yeah.
I
still haven't seen the movie. I need to go see it.
Yeah. So Yasmin Esmek, who ended up knitting these sweaters, studied knitwear design at Manhattan's Fashion Institute of Technology, and she had her own line of woolens that she sold in Barney's
Oh, cool.
in the 1990s. To knit these sweaters, she studied photos of Mr. Rogers to make sure that she got the design exactly right. Ended up watching the documentary "Won't You Be My Neighbor," which came out in 2018 about Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Because she said in her own words, her kids were just a little bit too young for Mr. Rogers when he was around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently not satisfied with the yarn that was available to her locally, she went to a store called Webb's in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Webb's is very well known.
Yeah, that's where she got all the yarn for the sweaters.
Yeah.
Is there. And she was apparently knitting madly with all these yarns to make swatches to be approved by the costume team.
I just think it was funny. You're knitting a swatch and you want it to be approved by the costume team. Mm-hmm. And so you're doing your best knitting, but then it's like, but wait, it needs to not be my best knitting.
Yeah. So I recall reading somewhere, I didn't find it specifically in this article, I had read some other things before I was able to find this again. Fred Rogers' actual cardigans were acrylic. I think they said.
Okay.
That they wanted to do that. They wanted that authenticity, but found that under the lights, Tom Hanks was sweating too much.
Yeah.
So they had to make them out of cotton, 100% cotton.
Oh, really? I'm surprised they didn't use wool. But anyway.
Yeah, and Arjun, the costume designer, also asked to represent after the era that Mr. Rogers' mother died. Asked Yasmin to make 2 cardigans by machine.
Okay.
So that they could they could compare and contrast the perfection of machine knits versus being hand knit. Yasmin ended up knitting a total of 6 sweaters in all. 2 of them in the classic red. 1 each in mustard yellow, teal, purple, and Kelly green. How long do you think it took her to knit all those?
How many of the? Yeah, sorry, I can't read your writing anyway.
6 sweaters.
How many of them were machine knit?
Well, those were all she hand knit. 6 sweaters.
6 sweaters. How long did it take her to knit them? I'm thinking because this was a commission, she probably like dedicated her time to it pretty well. I'm gonna say 6 weeks.
You're close, actually. Almost 9 weeks.
Okay.
I found that surprising, but I'm a slow knitter, so yeah.
I think if you really and as I recall, and I wasn't a Mr. Rogers.
Yep.
I know who he is.
Yep.
That's about it.
Same.
But they were pretty straightforward cardigans.
Fairly straightforward. I think in the article they said there was a slight cable design because they were zippered sweater cardigans to be easy to take on and off. And they mentioned something about a cables design that I was looking at pictures of the cardigans and I was like, where is this cable?
Yeah, they might have had a different thought or whatever.
Anyway,
but yeah, so I mean, I think if you really, although having said that, it would be like knitting me a sweater. Well, not even me. It would be smaller than me. If you really knuckled down, I would think you could probably do that in a week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically all the notes I made on that article, but I thought that was really cool.
Cool, yeah.
As opposed to just being like, quick and dirty.
Here's a red sweater.
Yeah, they took the time to commission someone to hand knit them.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to put a link to that article in the description if you want to read the whole thing yourself.
Cool.
It's from the New York Post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is neat because, you still hear people, they talk about knitting and it's just like it's a grandma thing. And,
yeah.
But that's actually interesting because I've been mentioning about how my friends at work, my coworkers, have all started knitting.
Yeah.
And holy crap, they're just, it's crazy. We showed you last episode the cowl that Anna had made for herself. Well, she's made boot cuffs and another cowl.
Wow.
So 2 sets of boot cuffs and another cowl since then. And Chris has almost finished her scarf.
Okay.
And then Cree has made, so she finished the sweater for her son. She made a cowl for herself that turned into a skirt for her daughter. And she's probably, I'm thinking if I were to see her today, I think she's probably finished a sweater for herself now.
Wow.
Which is just like, you guys, what?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they're just going great guns. So what was my point behind that? Oh, because there's so much knitting going on in the shop, because it's literally, you walk in the door and if they're not cutting hair, they're doing this.
Yeah.
And you walk in and they look up, can I help you? Right?
Yeah.
So everyone knows that they're knitting.
Yeah.
And it's now all the clients are like, oh, I knit.
Yeah.
So we may actually have a knit night at work.
Ooh.
We may use the shop as a location to hold a knit night.
Nice.
And have, the sheer creation knit night.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's just another silly thing.
Yep.
But speaking of my coworkers,
Yes. Yes.
my friend Chris handed me a baggie full of weed to bring home the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And Jude really enjoyed it because it was catnip.
It was catnip.
It was catnip.
It wasn't weed, it was catnip.
So I've been making little catnip sachets for the cats in our lives. Did you know we're going to have Oscar for Christmas?
I did not know we were going to have Oscar for Christmas.
We're going to have Oscar for Christmas.
Okay.
You guys may remember from
last year.
More than a year ago.
A little over a year ago.
Oscar, my mother-in-law's cat was staying with us, and she's going away over Christmas, so he's going to come back and see us again. So that'll be nice.
Fluffy boy.
Fluffy orange boy. Have you seen Oliver, Melissa's cat?
Yes, I have.
He's twice.
Huge.
He's 2 Stormies.
Yes. He's a massive cats should not be. Oh,
he's huge.
Huge.
So I actually said to Melissa yesterday, I said, so, like, is he overweight? Have you thought about, like, limiting his access to food? And apparently, because of his bones, he is just a big cat. He's not overweight. Yes, Jude, you're a small cat. Shut up.
He's got big bones.
He's big boned. Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, so now I'm asking for some help.
Uh-oh.
I need gift ideas for Mike. So if you could comment below, please. What the heck am I getting Mike for Christmas? Because
this is totally ineffective.
I don't know. And then you'll see it again when we edit.
Yeah.
So please comment below. Help a girl out here. I need gift ideas for Mike.
I mean, I have a list of board games that I want. That is actually like a Google Doc that I'm.
I saw this when I went to grab my stuff. This is a hair scrunchie thing.
Oh, it's a scrunchie.
We got these at work so that we could have more hair. And of course I have short hair, so it doesn't work very well.
It's a scrunchie.
But
oh my gosh.
Can you see it? I don't know.
Yeah, we can.
Anyway,
it's a scrunchie.
So as I went to grab my knitting, I saw this thing and I was like, it's gonna come out of the bag when I. So anyway, yeah, we tried them out. I figured because my hair stylist friends were getting them, they were probably like okay to get, but. Yeah, so hair scrunchie, careful, it might attack you in the middle of the night. So, yeah. All right. I think that's enough sort of
chit-chat. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Let's talk about then some knitting things. We'll start with some yarnquisitions. Yarnquisitions!
I'm not knitting. You have a plan for your stuff. What could we possibly be? Okay, never mind. So, I have a plan. I am going to be knitting a shawl.
Are you?
And I had the picture all ready to go. Yay, it worked this time.
Yay!
So,
ooh.
This is the shawl I'm going to be knitting.
Ooh.
It's called, what am I doing? There we go. It's called Heartbeat.
Nice.
By Mealy Vent. And it's a lace weight shawl. So I went on the hunt trying to find lace weight yarn.
Ooh.
And I wanted something that would be, kind of luxurious. It needed to really have a good drape. And I guess because most people, lace weight is not something we really reach for a lot. So this is what I picked up. Now, you'll notice it does not have a ball band on it.
Yeah.
And that's because this has come straight from a yarn supplier.
Oh.
Now, it does have a bit of stellina in it. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't really want anything sparkly. Luckily, it's not like an overpowering sparkle.
No, it's got a little sparkle to it, but it is so soft.
But this yarn. So this comes via the Dyers of Color Adventures, but this is undyed yarn. So it's coming straight from the manufacturer. This is 65% alpaca, 20% cashmere, 10% silk, and 5% stellina.
It is so soft.
It is. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn, and really, it was a very. I was actually prepared to pay a lot of money for this yarn, and I'm not going to say it was cheap, but it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be, and of course, because it hasn't been dyed and all of those other things, it wasn't too bad. So there's 836 yards on this 100-gram skein. So it's a true fingering weight yarn.
That is... I still have trouble wrapping my head around the fact that, like, if I pull that yarn out, it is 8 football fields.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's... Oh, Jude. Yeah, it's very fine.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I need to do my nails. So anyway, so that was a yarnquisition. So I'm really desperate to start knitting this, but I know I've got other things I have to finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to forget that that's there, but this is as good as the ball band as I've got. It's just this piece of paper explaining to me what's in it. So that was a yarnquisition. So that was Heartbeat by Millie Vent.
Okay, is the yarn base or?
No, the pattern I'm going to be doing.
Oh, the pattern, okay.
So the other thing I did, because I've got all my friends who are knitting at work.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, you need a stitch marker. You need a stitch marker. You need a stitch marker. So I broke down, we're going to put a picture in here.
Mm-hmm.
I made an order from my friend Sarah at Riv Creative.
Okay.
And I ordered a whole bunch of stitch markers and progress keepers and stuff, just so they would have a lot of options.
Yeah.
For stitch markers. So I got some, oh, they're in there too. So I got some stuff for them, and when it arrived, this is what the picture.
Okay.
This is how it arrived. So Sarah had done a beautiful job of wrapping each little item. So each of these things was wrapped up like a little Christmas present. Okay. Which is great, except I didn't know what was in the package.
Right.
So I was doing this, like, I'm holding the package and I'm going, okay, here, open this one. It might not be for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It might not be yours. I'll have to see. As it happened, though, I managed to, and I couldn't remember what I'd ordered or who I'd ordered what from or for. But anyway, so I got all the girls some light bulb stitch markers or light bulb pins or whatever you want to call these things. These are just handy for like everything.
Yep.
And then I got them all, and of course I don't have them here, but I got them all a set of Sarah's brass stitch markers. These ones are hexagon. These ones are like a not the largest size she's got, but kind of like the middle size.
Right.
And the stitch marker. And then these ones are also, I think I actually meant to give these to them because they're all working on slightly larger things right now. Mm-hmm. These ones are like diamond shaped. Mm-hmm. And I like these stitch markers because they're brass. Mm-hmm. They're really light. Mm-hmm. And they just look nice. But I also got them some progress keepers, and I tried to get them progress keepers that were kind of
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So
my friend Chris, she doesn't drive, so she rides her bike a lot. So I got her one that was a little bicycle.
Oh, nice.
And then I got I couldn't find one that like screamed Anna, so I got her a little piece of chocolate.
Nice.
Because who doesn't like chocolate?
Yeah.
And then Cree is so happy with hers. It's quite funny.
Okay.
And so I apologize to anyone who I am about to offend.
Okay.
But Cree's is a little silver disc, and on the disc it says 0 fucks given. And she said, and it's totally Cree. And she says every time she sees it or she picks up her knitting and she sees it, it makes her smile. And off she goes. So anyway, so that was fun. But me going around going, here, open this. It might not be for you. I think I got them all right.
Nice.
In the end, too. And I couldn't even remember what I'd ordered. Except that I think those
probably should have
might
gone to
have
somebody.
been for them.
Alrighty.
But anyway, so those are Arquisitions.
Yay!
Yay!
That moves us on to
Foes.
I have bound off the socks, finally. They still need to be blocked.
And there is the end needs to be
And the end
woven
needs
in.
to be woven in. But that's part, I consider that part of blocking.
Yeah.
And there's still a progress caper on one of them. But I finally said, heck it, I am done with, I am done. I can't take any more of these. I'm done.
So hang on. So there you go, Carrie. You asked me on the weekend, did he finish the socks? There they are. He finished. Yeah. He finished the socks. And I do still think, I think these are really neat because of the, just how different the yarn looks. And it's from the same ball. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah.
That's super neat.
I think it's going to be a while before I knit another pair of socks.
Yeah, I did Carrie's. Yeah. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
I did Carrie's nails again this weekend. They are so good.
That's good.
Maybe we'll put a picture here because they're really good.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Do you have any foes?
I don't have any foes.
Okay, that moves us smoothly on to whips. I finally got started on heavy metal. And here, so I got that much done.
So this is heavy metal.
Heavy metal. It's from the Blue Brick Collective.
Yeah.
I can't remember what's by. Oh well. So yeah, here is the start so far.
So that's a pretty, that's a neat sort of a woven.
Yeah,
design
so one thing I'm not sure I'm doing correctly on this, because it doesn't make any comments regarding this in the pattern. So this pattern has a lot of utilizes a lot of slipped stitches.
Right. But not slip stitches like mosaic knitting.
Okay.
To be clear.
Okay. And what I'm not sure if I'm doing correctly is when I bring the yarn, behind all those slip stitches, I'm pulling it tight. Or at least putting some amount of, like, I'm not leaving a great big carry like I might for color work. So I don't know if
where would you do that? Like
along
here?
Actually, it's really hard to tell. It's kind of along in that area, I guess. Yeah.
So basically, you're doing slip stitches as you would like a cable needle.
Okay.
Kind of thing. You could leave a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want that to lie flat behind there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you don't want to pull that up tight. So what he's talking about is
actually, right at the top there.
Right there. So this set of stitches are going over top of the stitches that are going side to side here. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing that's where you're slipping the stitches, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's slipping 3 there, and then it's like, yeah, you want to have enough give behind that so that they don't get all bunched up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
so that you get a nice.
Yeah, I've also been.
Straight line.
I've been looking at the photos of it, and I'm not sure what they've been doing. There's that one really weird stitch in there. I still don't know what happened. I think at this point it's just a really big stitch.
We all have weird stitches.
And this yarn is from Alison Barnes from her Struggle and Strength collection. This particular colorway is called Self Care Is Not Selfish. Mm-hmm. It is a basic sock yarn. It is 80% merino superwash and 20% nylon.
So that is Alison Barnes yarn. Alison does a really cool, and no, we are not paid.
No.
to talk.
No, we just really like what she does.
Alison does a really cool, her Fiber Fix boxes.
Yes. She does.
And her color
Where'd she come from?
Color choices and
just found a stitch marker.
Did you have one? Oh well, whatever.
It was probably in this bag from another project. Anyway.
Her colors are beautiful.
Yes. Yes. Alison is great.
That's that. All right. So I have been working on my Advent socks. So if you have the Cozy Knitter Advent socks,
right,
you
Advent
are not
socks,
up to date. You might want to look away. But at the same time, if you have the Cozy Knitter Advent socks, you know that you had to ball or cake the yarn before you could use it, so you kind of already know what the colors are.
Up to date up to December 9th.
December 9th.
Yes.
So I'm doing 1 stripe a day. So just to give you an idea, right? Like you had to cake this.
Okay.
So I would normally pull from the outside, but I'm intentionally pulling from the inside to try to keep a little bit of mystery there.
Okay.
Surprise
as
myself.
As much mystery as there is, yeah.
Surprise myself a little bit.
Oh,
they got all... Oh. This is what happens when you go to the hospital and you stuff your knitting in your bag when someone says, come and have... So, here I am. I have been doing 1 stripe a day. So the current color I'm working on is kind of an orangey coral. I'm only like barely a stripe into that.
Nice.
Oh, don't those look pretty?
They do. They look very nice.
So I am using my, because Mom told me to, toe up sock pattern. I didn't do a contrast toe because I'm not supposed to be knitting. Well, I'm telling myself okay, knitting hurts.
Yes.
So I'm doing my like 1 row of 2 socks at a time.
Yeah.
Every day.
1 stripe at a time.
1 stripe at a time. I might start doing 2 stripes at a time because I'm getting close to where I want to start the gusset. I'll be starting my gusset increases maybe after a couple more stripes.
But Mom, that's cheating.
Doing 2 rows a day?
I don't know.
But the thing is, when you start doing your gusset increases, you're not making as much progress because
you're making increases.
Yes, your rounds are longer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's a 24 color repeat. So it's not like I'm going to run out of yarn before.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, big stretch.
So I've been working on those.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't even know why I'm showing you this, but I have done maybe like 4 or 5 more rounds on Novelli, and I'm showing it to you because knitting.
Yep.
So yeah, I've done, gosh, there we go. Yeah, 4, where's my stitch marker? Okay, so I've done maybe a little over an inch, maybe 1 1/4 inches. More. There's my stitch marker. So, right, so that's my Novelli by Caitlin Hunter. And I have fully determined now in my own brain, I know for certain, I will definitely cut the color work off.
Okay.
And do that. And I'm just looking, I want to see, I'm going to hold it up to the camera because you get better. Oh, it doesn't look so bad in the camera.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking at just sort of in this area. When I look at it here, it looks like the color ran.
I don't see it.
But you can't see it. Maybe it's because I was looking at that light and I just have pinky purple in my eyes. So yes, that's the Novelli Tea. I love this color work. This is such a beautiful... Oh, and this yarn is for Midnight Cravings. Again, not sponsored. I love this yarn. And this is the Lush base. So, it's no nylon. And we've got Tapas Bar, Kelp Forest,
Plum?
Velvet Plum. Nice. Good save. Yeah, so that's the stuff I've actually been working on. Of course, we all know I have a whole bunch of other stuff that I could be working on.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would have hoped I would have all of this stuff finished by now.
Yeah.
Except that for 2 months.
You've been not allowed to.
More than 2 months. I've been, wow, it's almost 3 months. I've been struggling with this.
Yeah.
No fun.
I can only imagine.
It's no fun. So...
You know, I have an advent calendar this year, too.
I kind of saw it. Do you want to show it to us?
It's over there.
I'll get it.
Okay. I learned a couple of years... I figured I would treat myself this year, because there's chocolate advent calendars. But did you know that Lego makes advent calendars. So yeah, I got myself a Lego Star Wars advent calendar for ages 6+.
Okay. So
For the 22-year-old man.
So that won't be on Mike's gift list. If you've come up with any ideas, comment below. But he already has the Lego
Star Wars advent
calendar.
I have one of them. There's two of them. Anyway, no, it's fine.
Guess what Mike's getting for Christmas?
Actually, I think I've been storing some of the things in here.
So how do I tell them apart?
They look different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I probably won't be able to find them anymore.
Little. I determined this was supposed to be a little Star Destroyer
Star
show.
Destroyer,
So,
yeah. Big Star Destroyer.
Yeah, big little Star Destroyer. And yeah,
Okay.
there have been minifigs. Anyway.
Yes. So cool. So
Yeah.
I guess that would be our whips.
Yes.
And my dream knitting came up earlier. So Mike, what do you bring to the table?
Well, I bring to the table another game that is on my wish list. And also this, I guess.
Sorry.
I bring to the table a game that I only heard about in the last couple weeks, and I am so hooked on it. It is a party game called Don't Get Got. So one thing that even I will complain about for party games is you kind of need to dedicate an amount of your party to that game.
Right.
Not so with Don't Get Got.
Okay.
It fits nicely into whatever is already happening at your party.
Okay.
So you the basic premise is you figure out who's participating and who's not. You know, not everyone needs to participate.
Right.
And they get a little wallet that has been filled with cards, little mini cards, that have objectives on them.
Okay.
And they are very silly objectives. I'm trying to do my best on not getting spoiled on those objectives, so I don't know very many of them, otherwise I would share some here. But yeah, they're truly ridiculous things, so I've been told. And your goal is to complete those objectives, and they normally involve other people.
Okay.
And if at any point in you trying to complete this objective, the other person says, "Is this for the thing? Or is this for the game?" Anything like that, objective failed, you can no longer attempt that objective.
You got.
You got. But if you can successfully do the thing, then you've completed that objective. Now, you can play this as a party game where it's like, you just kind of do it.
Yeah.
But if you want to have an objective scoring system, the first player to complete 3 of their objectives is the winner. I learned about this game from board game reviewers Shut Up and Sit Down. And if you go over to their channel, Quinn's has a review video up where he shares an anecdote of him trying to complete one of these objectives, which is hilarious.
Oh my goodness!
Sounds
like fun.
It is a lot of fun. There are literally, I think, I want to say thousands of objectives, but
at least hundreds.
At least hundreds, yeah. And Don't Get Got.
Okay.
It's a game that you should get.
I think we need to get our hands on Don't Get Got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely on my wish list.
So don't get caught getting don't get caught.
Don't get got.
Don't get caught getting don't get caught. But
Got
get
it. So get yeah.
Nice. So how does one get don't get caught?
That's a very good question. I
Okay.
haven't looked into it yet. I was supposed to look into the knitting card game.
I've given up asking.
I will do that tonight.
Because, no, actually, no. In all seriousness, Mike's had a ridiculous work schedule.
It's the holiday times, and I work retail.
Yeah, and I mean, there were some days there you were doing what, like
9 a.m. to midnight
Yeah.
over my 2 jobs.
So what is that, like 15-hour days? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a row, and
Yeah.
so we've had a couple opportunities where we might have recorded, and I've just sort of said, "So, how do you feel?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, we've said so many times, right? We're meant to have fun, and if you just don't feel like it, that's why we're doing this, because we have fun together doing this, and so if it's not fun, we don't do it. So sorry for those of you who've just been like sitting and waiting to be informed about our next stellar episode of Close Knit Family.
The holiday season has...
We're sorry, but because of that too, and not knowing kind of what your schedule is going to be moving forward, and of course, all our social calendars. This is where the birds chirp.
Yeah. Or the crickets, or...
The crickets, yeah. I'd just like to take a moment, just in case we don't see you before, to say Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I expect we'll get recording in there somewhere.
Yeah, but just in case. I want to just get that out there. And Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. And happy whatever it is that you celebrate or don't celebrate at this time of year. I hope.
Merry Festivus.
And Happy Solstice and all of
Candle
those
nights.
things. The point is, in saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, I am wishing you good wishes at this time of year, however you do or don't celebrate them. I still want you to have good things. That makes sense. Did that even make sense?
Yeah.
I spoke the words. Did they make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to us. If you want to help us out here on YouTube, it helps us out if you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.
Mike, Christmas presents.
Follow us on Instagram as well, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Mum posts on there periodically. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that will be in the end card and in the description. And as always, keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye!